Welcome all in this lecture of biological physics. In this particular lecture, we are going to discuss about the unifying ideas of biology. Now, what is unifying idea? Unifying idea exists in the field of physics that we all know, that is the grand unification theory. For example, the surprising unification of the age-old phenomena of magnetism known from lodestones and the early days of compasses and navigation to the diverse manifestations of electricity such as the lightning that attends summer thunderstorms to the many and varied appearances of light such as rainbows or the apparent bending of a spoon in a glass of water. All of these phenomena that has been described in this paragraph, all of these phenomena and many more were brought under the same roof in the form of the modern theory of electromagnetism. So, the electromagnetism electromagnetism consists all of the ideas that has been described in this paragraph. So, this is one type of unification, that is different phenomena under the same roof. So, this is the unification ideas in physics. Such unifying concepts are certainly not unique to the physical sciences. Biology has far reaching ideas of its own. That is, just like physics, biology has far reaching ideas of its own. So, it has also some unification idea or unifying ideas that we will discuss step by step. So, another thing is that we are acquainted with the famous book Feynman Lectures on Physics. So, these lectures were delivered by Feynman. So, in this lecture a particular sentence has been quoted in this book, that is, if in some cataclysm all of scientific knowledge were to be destroyed and only one sentence passed on to the next generation of creatures, what statement would contain the most information in the fewest words? Feynman chooses the idea that all things are made of atoms. So, this is one of the great idea, that is a single sentence, but it contains many important information, that is all things are made of atoms. However, a survey of scientists would not be unanimous on this point, and some fraction of them would come down in favor of something along the lines of all living organisms are related through descent from a common ancestor through the process of evolution by natural selection. So, just like Feynman, he quoted a sentence. Similarly, other scientists also quote another sentence that also is very important in the context of science, not only from biology, but in the context of any science. So, that sentence be like that, that is all living organisms are related through descent from a common ancestor. So, there exists a common ancestor from which all living organisms were created through the process of evolution. How they were created? Through the process of evolution by natural selection. Similarly, there is another sentence by Dobzhansky. This sentence is also very important, that is, nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. Indeed, there is a strong argument that evolution is biology's greatest idea, and will leave its indelible stamp on nearly everything we say in the next lectures that we follow. So, the point is that is idea of the evolution, that is one of the greatest idea of biology. While Darwin and Wallace labored to find an understanding of the process of evolution, Mendel was hard at work in establishing the early ideas on the underlying mechanisms of inheritance. So Mendel tried to detect, that is, what is the underlying mechanisms behind the process of inheritance, resulting in discoveries that founded another one of biology's uniquely great ideas, namely genetics. So genetics is one of the important and famous branch of the biological science. One of the most remarkable adventures of the human mind has been the quest to relate Mendel's abstract particles of inheritance to the molecules of the cell. So, the theory of inheritance is related to the molecules of the cell, with the successful insight being the realization that DNA is the carrier of genetic information. So, when research on the inheritance or the evolution was going on, a important finding was invented, that is, DNA is the carrier of genetic information. This is very important thing, that is, DNA is the carrier of genetic information. History is often characterized by various ages, and it is no exaggeration to say that we are now living in the DNA age. This is very true, that is, we are now living in the DNA age. There is so much research going on in the field of DNA. Another of the key ideas that is now largely taken for granted, but is a unifying concept all the same and was hard won in the making, is the cell theory. The insight that all living organisms are made up of cells, and the individual cells are themselves the quantum unit of living matter. So, let us focus on this particular sentence. This sentence is very important. You see that quantum unit of living matter. It means that, suppose in the field of physics we are well acquainted with the term, that is photon, that is quantum of energy. In the theory of Einstein's, we all read, that is energy is quantized and energy is carried by some, that is energy packets, that are known as photons. So photon is the quantum unit of energy. Similarly, in the field of biology we can say, that is all living organisms are made up of cells, and these cells are the quantum unit of living matter. So this is the quantum unit of living matter, and this is very important. Actually, what we are discussing in this topic, that is the unifying idea. So what is the common thing in all living organisms? That is the main point of discussions here. So all living organisms are made up of cells. So this particular fact is the unifying idea of the biology. And another thing is that we have discussed previously, that is evolution or inheritance, that is everything created from a common ancestor, that we discussed just previously, that is all living organisms are related through descent from a common ancestor through the process of evolution by natural selection. And how evolution or inheritance is performed, that is there is something, there is DNA behind it. DNA is the carrier of genetic information. So these are common to all biological systems. So in this way we are describing the unifying ideas of biology. But apart from this fact, there are some other important facts also. For example, common metabolic pathways shared by so many organisms, that is metabolic pathway, how metabolism is performed. So this metabolic pathway is common to so many organisms. This is another fact that is also one of the unifying ideas of biology. Or the fact that the molecular machinery that implements our shared genetic heritage. Shared genetic heritage means, that is in the process of evolution, DNA that contains the genetic information that mutates or changes step by step. So that is why we are saying that is, there is some molecular machinery that implements our shared genetic heritage is based upon a few common macromolecular assemblies such as polymerases and the ribosome. That means the genetic information that is shared by us, that is implemented by some common macromolecular assemblies. So these macromolecular assemblies are common to the all living organisms. So that is also another important unification ideas of biology. Now we will discuss another fact, that is we will now discuss, that is proximity ideas. Proximity ideas mean that is how the development process carried out in different types of cells. So here we will discuss the development of the Drosophila and development of the frog. Now what is the proximity idea? Proximity of ideas in cell biology and in physical biology during the early development of the fruit fly Drosophila. This is the fruit fly Drosophila. The eventual fate of the cells. Fate of the cells means that is how cell will be developed step by step. That is the fate of the cells is determined by the patterned expression of a group of regulatory proteins, colored stripes. You see the colored stripes here. So here the fate of the cells is determined by the patterned expression of a group of regulatory proteins. In a traditional organization of biological topics, the process of cell fate determination in Drosophila development might be discussed in the context of development of other animals such as the frog. So here frog is developed from its embryo. This is the frog embryo, and this is a full-fledged frog. So here this is the development of the frog, and here this is the development of the Drosophila. However, the critical physical concepts that enable cell specification in the fly embryo involve processes such as diffusion and precise measurement of chemical concentration. So how the cell fate is determined, that is how the cells are developing step by step. So that is governed by two important process. One is diffusion process and other is the chemical concentration. One of these phenomena is illustrated at the bottom, where on the left a group of bacteria is seen swarming towards the tip of a glass micropipette that is leaking a delicious amino acid serine into the medium. So this is the figure, and this shaded region is the group of bacteria, and this one is the tip of a glass plate. So in the tip of a glass plate there is a particular amino acid serine. So if we put serine in the tip of the glass plate, then you will observe that is bacteria are coming towards the glass plate. When the serine is switched for a toxin, that is phenol, as shown on the right. So suppose instead of serine you are putting a toxin, that is phenol, on the tip of the glass plate. So in that case what will happen? The bacteria quickly reverse course and swim away. That is, bacteria will move out from this tip of the glass plate. They will move away and they will reverse their direction. In both the developing embryo and the swimming bacterium, cells measure the concentration in their environment. So that concentration of the chemicals is very important for the development of the cell. So that is performed in this experiment. So we can say that is the role of the concentration or the diffusion process that affects the process of the fate of the cell or process of the cell development. And these ideas or these facts are common to almost all the living organisms. So here with this experiment we have also demonstrated another unifying idea. So there are such types of different unification ideas in biology. So these are known as the unification ideas of the biology. And the content of this lecture is from the textbook Physical Biology of the Cell by Rob Phillips and others. So I think you have understood the lecture, and for further understanding I request the viewers to go through this textbook, and thank you all for listening the lecture.